Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Mama's Rule. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. Today's video is just going to be a video about prioritizing. As a mom, it is definitely a very chaotic job. If you are a mom to 1, 2, 3, I don't care however many kids you have, you know sometimes that mothering can be chaotic. You have to work. You have to make sure your child gets to school, to doctor's appointments. If they're sick, you have to take care of them. You have to put food on the table. You have to clean your house. You have to wash their clothes. You have to take the dog for a walk. You have to take the trash out in some cases. You got to read the bedtime story. You got to give the baths. You got to make the lunches. Like, there is so many different things that we as moms do, and it can be overwhelming at times. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she brings me so much inspiration because she's a new mom, and you know what it was like when you were a new mom. You were trying to get everything done. Not that you had to prove anything to yourself or to your child or to your spouse or to your family, but just because once you become a mom, there's just something that clicks. And there, for me, at least I can speak for myself, there's a sense that you can do everything. And although that is true, listen, I am very pro we as moms get things done, okay? We are the CEOs of our house. We know how to get things done. We know how to take a little from there, take a little bit from there, and make it a whole, okay? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Although we are capable of doing that, we don't have to do that all the time, to the point, guys, where we burn ourselves out. That's where prioritizing what's important really comes into play. Because at the end of the day, as a mom, our number one priority is not just our kids, but our number one priority is ourselves as well. And I always tell people, if you don't take care of yourself, especially as a parent, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't, get your mind right, get your body right, get your priorities right, how can you be any good for your child? I used to be that mom that was trying to get everything done, had to have the perfect house, had to have the perfect child, had to have myself looking perfect. And at the end of the day, I'm dying inside because I'm spending hours and hours on things that are really not that important. They're really not that important. What's important is that you as the mother, you as a mom, you as a woman are whole. And that, okay, we can leave the floor unvacuumed for a day. Okay, maybe we can't go to the grocery store today, but we do have food in the refrigerator that we can cook and put together. And we have to also realize as moms that if we're if we're cleaning and we're trying to create this perfect image, that something is not going to be kept. What do I mean by that? If you're trying to do, like for me, my issue was, I'll just talk about myself. My issue was I was so intent. I like to clean. I was so intent on trying to keep a clean house. Okay, I have my husband. Okay, he's a man, so you already know what that is in some instances. And then I have this male little boy child at the time who was running around and, of course, wreaking havoc on my house. And I was always trying to get the house to be perfect. And I would clean up everything, spend hours cleaning up everything. And what was I doing? I was taking away from time and precious moments with my son and children because I was so concerned and so busy with something else. Is cleaning your house and keeping a clean home a priority? I'm sure that it is for some. It still is for me. But my point is, you have to be able to find the balance between doing those things that have to get done, but not necessarily have to get done every day or right then and there. Okay, we need to spend, not that we need to, but choose to prioritize your time a little bit better. So maybe when you come home from work, your usual routine is to get undressed, cook dinner, start cleaning. And then by the time you notice, your child is already asleep and you've missed that whole interaction time with them. The wise thing to do perhaps is to have dinner made in a crock pot, or maybe you're ordering in that day, or whatever the situation is. You want to try to make the job of being a mom, that is overwhelmingly a lot at times, as easy and efficient as possible. And some of the things that I've adapted is I definitely try to meal prep. I try to plan out my meals a month in advance. One, so that when I go to the grocery store, I know exactly what I need to get, because if you go grocery shopping for your family, you know that if you don't go into that store with a plan, you are spending money on unnecessary things. I cannot tell you how long I dealt with that early on, being a mom and thinking that I was doing the right thing, not going into the store with a plan, and I brought all of this stuff and I totally went through my grocery budget. So definitely, if you're going grocery shopping, have a plan, plan out your meals, know what your family is eating day in and day out. One of the things specifically that I've had to do with that is because my schedule is so crazy how I work. One day I'm home with the kids all day until 4 o'clock rather in the afternoon when my husband comes home, and then I have to go to work. And then the next day I'm working from 8 in the morning until 8 at night. That's a thing that I have to balance. So how am I going to get food on the table? My husband was so nice. On my birthday, he brought me an Instapot. And the beautiful thing about the Instapot is you're going to get your food done in a record time. So I can cook a whole meal in my Instapot for 30 minutes. So how did I gauge that? So let's give you an example. Monday, my schedule is evening working. So I have time to cook and prep for Monday's dinner, but I can also, in my Instapot, if necessary, prep for Tuesday's dinner, and have that done in 30 minutes, put that in the refrigerator so that I don't have to worry about what my family's going to eat on Tuesday when they come home from work and school, because I've already made that dinner. I've already had that prepared. That's one way that you can prioritize. You can prioritize your clean, loves to keep a clean house and things like that. But if you are a mom, and obviously you are because you're watching the video, then you can feel my pain when I say it is very hard to clean when you have your children running around and they're trying to play toys and they want to eat the snack and do this and do that. I hardly get any cleaning done when it's like that. So when I come home from work, which is normally in the evenings when my kids are already asleep, thank you to my husband, they're already asleep, I will clean the living room that night. I will clean the kitchen the night before. I'll get as much as I feel that I need to get the important areas of the house together the night before, so that when we wake up in the morning, we're waking up to a clean house. And that's one thing that I don't have to deal with. My kids are asleep, so I don't have to give them any attention, and I'm just able to focus on the things that I need to get done. That's the time where I iron our clothes, I get my son's stuff ready for school. I just take care of the everyday household thing. That's another example of how you can just prioritize things to where you're not taking anything away from your family. Your children still get the whole full version of you. And for you, as a mom, you're content because your house is clean and there is food together. When it comes to grocery shopping, guys, I don't stress myself and bring my kids with me grocery shopping, because number one, I'm going to buy things that we don't really need, because you know how kids are. I want this, I want that. And number two, having them in the store with me, it just kind of messes up the flow. When I'm in the grocery store, I'm trying to be in and out. I don't want to be there having my 6-year-old tell me he has to use the bathroom, or the 1-year-old is cranky because he's tired of sitting in the cart. Another thing that you can do is try to have your spouse watch the babies, or your children rather, while you go grocery shopping, or girlfriend or something like that. Find a community of women that, you guys can bounce off one another and help one another. Sometimes with close friends that I have, I'll watch their kids, even if they don't ask me, just to kind of I'll freely volunteer just to kind of give them a break, because we know what it's like as moms to just at times just need our me time. That's another story for another day. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys some examples of how you can just try to prioritize, take care of the important things that definitely need to be taken care of first, and then focus on things that are not that important. I hope that this video was helpful to you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.